Coming up, we've got egg plotting fun of our new machine that we've built here.
Exactly.
It hosts its own website to control it with loads of cool features such as rendering a 3D egg with your design plotted on.
Some of you may have already met our annual pumpkin project, Clive the Pumpkin.
Yep, so we've got a new character, Sir Reginald Hatchington III, that told us to make this automatic ovoid Scrivener.
the third.
Some say he was calibrated at birth and hasn't drifted since, and that he once rejected an omelette on principle. All we know is he's called Sir Reginald Hatchington III, Keeper of the Carton, Grand Plotter of the Oval Realm.
About 10 years ago, we built one of these.
It was a kit, fairly simple, but it worked. We had a lot of fun with it over the years. It did have its limitations though. It relied on an older version of Inkscape with plugins, and it always needed to be connected to a computer. Over time, parts broke, so we reprinted them. Our old setup worked, but it always felt a bit, involved. And we'd always wanted to build our own. We already make a word clock where everything is configured through an inbuilt web server. No software, no setup, just a browser and you can use it. So we started thinking, what if this could work the same way? No Inkscape, no plugins, no cables tying it to the computer even. Just something self-contained, portable and simple to use.
Maybe even with a live preview on a 3D egg. So we built it. It's worth mentioning we had inspiration from other adaptations of Bruce Shapiro's model, and as far as we can tell he seems to be the real OG. That is, before Lord Hatchington took the reins and set us to work on his rendition, the automatic Ovoid Scrivener, all from scratch, upon his own request.
Now of course, this wasn't the first version. We went through quite a few prototypes, most of which were personally rejected by Sir Reginald Hatchington III. We started with a fully 3D printed design and it actually worked really well. It was reliable and did exactly what we needed. It didn't exactly scream Victorian invention though. And also, the electronics weren't exactly elegant either. An Arduino Leonardo 2 motor drivers and a lot of spaghetti wiring. It worked, but it definitely wouldn't impress Sir Reginald. So we moved to laser cutting. This version kept the spring-loaded mechanism and added some brass-style parts that we 3D printed. And it even had these little hands to hold the egg. But there was one problem. It was too small. So we scaled it up and replaced the spring system with a simple twist design to hold the egg. It was much more reliable and a lot easier to use, but according to Sir Reginald, it lacked presence and it didn't quite reflect his status. So we started experimenting with engraving and eventually we landed on this. A design that finally met Sir Reginald's standards, we assume. Sir Reginald Hatchington here, the main man. That's not the first version of him either, he used to be an egg actually. And before that he used to be an egg on an oval. So you can see how he's really evolved. We're going to be like that, and now we're here. Which looks way better in my opinion. Now at the back, we've got a drawer. The oval realm contains all our circuitry. Hopefully it's going to be a lot neater. So that drawer, that holds our circuitry. A lot of iterations again. Too big, still too big, too big, too long. Holes in the wrong spot. Too little, not as enough holes. This hole was in the wrong spot here. Just loads of stuff that we've learnt along the way. Loads of different parts that we attempted to have with this that just failed. Different ways of securing the egg, etc. And this is what we've finally come up with. Enough rambling about this. Let's move on. Now we've showcased the hardware, let's have a look at the software and the web server that the Ovoid Scrivener is hosting.
Now that we're connected to the automatic Ovoid Scrivener, we can take a look at the web server it's running. You will notice at Lord Hatchington's request, labelling and overall appearance is rather regal. The interface is divided into three main sections, the drawing room, apparatus and dispatch, and we'll begin with the drawing room. So here we've got the main preview and this is where the designs are uploaded. On a computer you can just drag and drop a file, but here we're going to upload an SVG just from our iPad. Once loaded, the design appears in the preview, and we can also render it onto a three-dimensional egg, rotate it, zoom in and inspect it, which is pretty cool. And there's also a turntable option which just allows the egg to rotate automatically. It looks kind of cool. Then we'll move on to the toolpath preview option. This shows what the machine will actually draw. With it turned off, we see the full SVG plastered onto the egg. With it turned on, we can see only the outlines and paths that will be followed. So to simplify things, we're going to remove all strokes, then selectively enable only the layers that we want. I'll just add our dog's face, labelled pointer, along with maybe the bed, pillow, and the hands or paws. And that's everything we want to draw with the black pen. So we're just going to send this to our Ovoid Scrivener and press dispatch, and it begins drawing. At the top of the page, the status strip shows the Apparatus report, which logs each command as it runs. Once the outlining is complete, we can move on to fills. Instead of solid colour, fills are created using closely spaced lines, and we can choose which areas we want to fill. So to save time, we're just going to fill in the spots. So we're just going to enable both stroke and fill to see what this is all going to look like. The fill lines can also be customised, so if we open up the job controls, we can adjust the fill angle, changing it to 45 degrees, tilts the lines like this, and we can also reduce the spacing, which makes the lines just closer together and increases the density. Now we'll just change the pen to brown for the spots. To do that, we enable pen hold. This locks the motors so then the mechanism stays in position whilst the pen is swapped. Once the pen is secured, we turn pen hold off and dispatch.
This is the product of what we've done so far.
We'd usually add a few more colours and fills.
But let's get on with the next cool feature.
Yeah. So we've got another feature that's very useful when we take this around and do demonstrations in schools and stuff like this, since people love to have their names on the eggs. So if we can scroll down to the text inscription section and enter our name, so let's just add Kona, that's our dog. It appears in the 2D view, and we can change the font and adjust the position using the horizontal offset. I'm just going to move it slightly into place here. Then obviously enable pen hold to fix the motor in place, change out the pen, disable pen hold, and dispatch. We can also add another name, so let's just try Amelie. This one can be repositioned, so I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and also resize it. We can also change the font too, so let's just do that. If needed, we can switch between text elements, so to enable or disable them individually. For example, we can disable Kona, so only Amelie is going to be drawn, because we've already done Kona. If we want to fill the text, we can enable both stroke and fill. Switching back to the egg view just gives us a better idea of how it's going to look. And as before, enable pen hold, change the pen, disable it, and then dispatch. And there we go.
The next section to this webpage is the Apparatus section. Now this just lets you set up the Ovoid Scrivener. So you've got the pen up angle and pen down angle, so you're not smashing into the egg, you can set that up. You've got the X minimum and maximum values, so you're not going too far around the egg. I've also got little bits to test, so you can test the pen down, test the pen up, and apply those pen settings. And then finally we've got the dispatch section. Now this is for debugging. We've got loads of commands that we can copy and paste and send straight to it just to test everything out for debugging. So for example, I'm going to enable the motors. I'm going to copy the command to enable the motors and then just spin the egg round continuously using this command here. Now I am going to have to change the steps to make it spin round for a while, so I'll just change them to, let's go 10,000, and then I'll press dispatch commands and that'll send the commands to the egg, and then we can just watch it rotate. As I mentioned earlier, this is really handy and useful for debugging. So now we've shown you the UI, let's just have a little look at a few of the eggs that we've made it draw. Roll the cinematics.
you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah.
We'll also be taking this to Maker Central, which is in May, so in Birmingham, if anyone wants.
Yeah, come
we'll
down.
be there. Like and subscribe, and have a lovely rest of your day.
Happy Easter.
See you later, guys.